All right, we're going to get started. Good evening, everyone. Let me make a few settings here real quick. We should be good to go, I hope. Make a few settings here real quick. All right, there we go. Cool. So, what's up, Gonzo? Let's see, Mimo, Michael Morgan, and Marcos. Looks like you're the only ones in here right now. I don't know if everybody's got the post-Memorial Day hangover or not, but I saw your comment there, Mimo, about 2 weeks to receive most things. Okay, so you probably got another week to go. I figured it would take a while to get over the border. So I got a few things lined up for tonight. I think it'll be fun. I'm going to just kind of wait a few minutes and see if some more people jump in here. Hopefully we will get some more folks up. There's Devil Dog. What's up, Devil Dog? Hoorah. I got some shout outs to do. I'll also wait a little bit before I start throwing those in there as well. Josh Branson, just Josh. What's going on, my man? Cool to have you in the live. Good that you're not working today. Josh Branson, what's going on, my man? There's Devil Dog. Cool. People getting ready for Blade Show. Yeah, I think there'll be some people that, we normally have about, maybe 40 or 50 folks in here. But I think because of Blade Show this week, we may have less. Leaving to play at 4:30. Okay, cool. Have a good time. I don't know if I'm going to be there for the Thursday thing because I'm still having back and stomach issues, but we'll see what happens. So there's just Josh in here. This is one of my coworkers. Shout out to Josh. He's a good dude, good young guy, hard worker, super nice guy. Glad I got to know him. I'm really, really happy that he works with me at the golf course. So a little shout out to Josh there. So let's see. Oh, Byron Kennedy's in here too. What's up, Byron Kennedy? How's it going, brother? Thanks for sharing some of your Tuesday night. So I will start doing a few shout outs here. Hopefully a few more people will file in the next 5 or 10 minutes and we can get to some other stuff. I want to give a shout out to Papa Rhino this week. I also want to give a shout out to Dark Gravity. Him and I worked out a deal on a knife I purchased from him. Big shout out to John Evans, Juvon. What's up, Juvon? Big shout out to you. Tree Stabbin' Troy. There he is. What's going on, Tree Stabbin' Troy? You didn't miss much. I'm just starting with shout outs. So Papa Rhino, Dark Gravity, Juvon J. Evans, Uncle Kyle. I know that you can't always make the lives, but that you listen and watch from home afterwards. So shout out to you. And then also Cue Ball, Maddie are on their Beavis and Butthead King of the Hill type road trip with Snuz and Said Stevie. Some of you might have seen the video that Matt posted today. They've already hit up a knife store yesterday, and they are probably somewhere in Texas headed to Oklahoma as we speak. So shout out to those guys. Both of those guys loaned me some knives to review. Fantastic individuals. Can't say enough about them. Satu Dave was in this week's edition of Fully Deployed. If you haven't seen it yet, episode 3, please go over and check that out. And he was in there. He made a cameo appearance, as did Cole, Tri-State EDC. I just thought it would be cool to have some other channel people make cameos on Fully Deployed. And it fit for what I was doing at this particular time. So that's cool. Dave's en route across the country on his Road King. So let's hope for a safe trip for him as well. So who else did I miss? I know I missed some people back here, man. I know I did. Get some rest. Yeah, well, I have been doing that, and I basically slept all afternoon. Now I'm basically up for my live stream here. I don't want to disappoint any of my weekly folks. Will B, what's going on, my man? What's up? All right, we got 16 people in here. Nice. People starting to file in. I like it. I like it a lot. Aberdeen Blades, what's up, my man? Woohoo! And Native Wildman. You'll see why I'm happy that he's here in a little while. That's right. Big shout out also to all of you folks who are coming in the stream every Tuesday night and taking some time, giving me some of your evening. Also, big shout out to both of my moderators, Gonzo at Gonzo's Reviews and Michael Morgan, Mimo, both moderator extraordinaires. So I appreciate that. So let's, now that we got a decent handful of people in here, let's start throwing up pocket checks real quick. Tell me what you guys have in your pocket today. What are you carrying? What knives, what EDC accessories? And while you're doing that and getting ready to do that, I will show you what I have. What up, Blazy D10s, Blaze Burger? What's going on, buddy? Oh, I missed the wrong. That's Scott M, but hello, Scott, as well. Scott does all of the knife tube stuff and puts out all the notices on Instagram every day to let people know what lives are going on, including mine. So I appreciate that. It's a lot more than you guys know. Country Boy 1976 is in here. Very nice. Laura Gillespie. Here we go. Now the place is starting to fill up. Laura Gillespie, what's going on? So pocket checks, folks. Start after you come in and say hello, throw up your pocket checks. Let's see what you guys are carrying today. I would like to know. So things we will have tonight. We will have a brief little discussion about Memorial Day. I have a couple questions to throw at you guys to kind of create some chat. I'll be talking about a movie. We will have 5 and 5 with Native Wildman. He's going to be coming on here in about 20 or 30 minutes and doing 5 and 5. So if you don't know what that is, somebody comes on the channel, they show off 5 of their knives. I give them about 5 minutes to show the knives and tell me why they like them or whatever. It's not a review, just like a show and tell segment. And it's been pretty well received. Also, if you have not done a 5 and 5 yet and you are willing to do a 5 and 5 on my live stream, remember you do not have to show your face. Go ahead and get a hold of me at, there you go, eionansedge@gmail.com or on Instagram at eionans /_edge. If you want to take part in the 5 and 5 knife time show and tell. Let's see. So Josh Branson already getting going down here. So I think that's, is this the, oh no, it's not the first one. Oh, I missed a couple. Hold on. I don't want to miss anybody. I think Blazeburger had the first one. So Blazeburger has a Cormorant V1 for car flipping today. Very nice. I like it. Cool. Let's see. Will B has Titanium Spyderco PM2, Kaiser Begleader XL, the Migueron Valona, Civivi Chevalier, Streamlight Macro Stream, and an Olight Baton 3, and an Everyman Grafton pen. As usual, you're carrying a lot of stuff, but I like it, brother. I like it a lot. Very cool. Let's see. Michael Morgan, my moderator, he is carrying a Murdered Out Yo Jumbo with CME and custom titanium clip, Rough Rider Reserve Barlow, very cool knife, and a Rovivon Aurora A1X. The Rovivons, I haven't tried them yet. I'm going to have to try out one of their lights, see if they're up to my standards. Let's see. Country Boy 1976 is carrying a Civivi Cogent. Cool. Who's next down here? Josh Branson is carrying the Demco AD 20.5, an Open Pro in copper, a copper i5T, both super cool light, Forest Tank, went all out and carried my PMP Spartan Sense. She's going to a new home. Oh, okay. Well, obviously that makes room for something new, right? Cool carry though. Let's see. Native Wildman is carrying the CRKT M16 in bronze, the Civivi Imperium, the Case Mini Fin, and the Rough Rider Peanut in green. Cool. Byron Kennedy has an Off-Grid Enforcer XL, Red Dawn, and yes, too much electric lemonade at a neighbor's pool. Oh, whoa, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you're still feeling it. I got you, brother. A lot of people are. I haven't been doing that. I'm still having some stomach issues, which I've taken medicine for, and I kind of think that's cleared up, but my back has been acting up the last couple of days really bad. So it's kept me from really enjoying this past weekend. Laura Gillespie, she's got Tucson 312. I purchased from a good friend, Gonz. That's my man, Gonzo. Extremely impressed with this knife. Yes, all the Tucsons are amazing. They really are. Even the budget Tucsons are well-made knives. Let's see. Tree Stab and Troy. Oh, wait. Whoop. Let's see. Laura Gillespie still have a Tucson. I'm not sure. Tucson ever. Tree Stab and Troy. The ST-126, which you won from me in my giveaway. Very cool. Leatherman Surge, Olight Warrior Mini, SE Azula 2. Awesome knife. I love the SEs, especially the Azulas. They're great fixed blade knives and not very expensive. And a ZT 0022. That's a little baby ZT. Wrapped in a Mrs. Edge Hank. There you go, brother. Mrs. Edge is a huge contributor to my channel. Does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Michael Morgan. Roby Vaughn is very small and light and bright, but the 650 lumens only lasts a little over a minute, then steps down. Okay, gotcha. Acid Test Kids, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. Also, don't forget, folks, if you're in here, don't forget to hit the like button. Looks like everybody has so far because we've got about the same amount of people roughly that we have likes. So that's cool. Let me show you what I'm carrying today real quick. I'll start with the small stuff. I've got a Victorinox Cadet. This is actually no longer made. The Cadet is now called the Recruit. I really like this a lot. When I don't carry my SD Classics at work and things like that, I tend to carry this. It has almost the same lineup, but it's missing scissors. Other than that, it's kind of same, bigger version. But they now call this the Recruit. And the one that's a little thicker than this with 2 extra tools on the back is called the Tinker. I believe that has a reamer and a Phillips screwdriver in addition to the other tools that come in. So that's my utility pocket carry. And then I am carrying a Giant Mouse Ace Biblio in green micarta with M390 blade. This is a great knife. This has become one of my favorite everyday carry knives. Carry this a lot now at work too, and almost all the time when I'm off work. So that's number 2. Stacy Bolster Blades, what's going on? What's up? And then we got Samuel Smithy. What are ceramic cage bearings? Like, is the ceramic part okay, so I'll get to that in 1 second. Let me finish my carry and I'll answer your question. So I'm also carrying, I just got this. I already had the Presidio 2 Mini Carbon Fiber Elite. This is the full-size Presidio 2 Carbon Fiber Elite from Benchmade. Love this knife. It's just a bigger version of the one I already had and loved. So Samuel, here's the deal. Ceramic cage bearings. So the bearings are the actual little balls. And instead of being made out of like a high carbon steel, what they do is they make them out of ceramic, which is harder and more round and more smooth than steel, and to a certain extent is stronger than steel. They use ceramic to sharpen blades and make razor blades in factories, and we use it for knife sharpening a lot. So the ceramic doesn't ever really wear out, and it's harder than the steel, and it has its own kind of gliding properties. So the bearings are really smooth. And then, so those little balls will be encased around either a brass, a copper, sometimes a plastic circular casing, and those little balls all stay trapped inside there. So when it sets like this, 2 of them on top of each other on each side of the blade, that's what allows the blade to open. So when they say ceramic bearings, they mean the little balls themselves, the little ball bearings that are held inside of whatever kind of cage material it is, whether it be brass or it be some kind of plastic. Those little balls, instead of being made out of metal, are made out of a true turned ceramic. So they're just better than steel. I mean, overall, they're preferable. I can maybe see a few instances where they could possibly get damaged, but it would take some pretty bad abuse on a knife for that to happen. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see here. Where am I? So I got that one. Who else is in here? Marcos, Josh, Laura Gillespie. All hail the moderator, Queen Stacy. That's true. She moderates just about everything. Okay, listening, but got to go feed the babies. So she's taking off to do that. What's up, Me with Knives? What's going on? Don't forget to toss in your pocket check, Me with Knives, so I know what you got, brother. Let's see. And yes, Semper Fi. Blazeburger, what's up, Wilmington? Blazeburger's in here. Meet with Knives in here. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to talk real briefly, since we did pocket checks, and I don't know that we're going to get our usual 40 people in here. We'll see, but we've got a good amount of people. Papa Rhino, don't forget to throw up your pocket carry if you haven't done that already. Papa Rhino, glad you're liking that knife I sent you, and a couple of little extras. I wanted to talk real briefly about Memorial Day. For me, Memorial Day is a big deal. I'm a Marine. I've lost some buddies that have passed away, have died in the Marine Corps and different stuff. And it's just a good time. And plus, I have some uncles and people back in my family and other generations that have served and passed away in service to their country. So I just want to, just remind everybody that Memorial Day is not about thanking people who have served. It's about remembering people who served and sacrificed, whether they sacrificed part of their body or they gave the ultimate sacrifice, and they gave their life in defense of this country. And that's been going on all the way back to the War of Independence, right? When we fought for our independence from Great Britain, the Civil War, the First World War, Second World War, Korea, Vietnam, all the conflicts that we've been involved in since then. When you join the military, when you enlist, you sign up, whatever it is, you're basically writing your country's government a blank check up to and including your life. And you know that going in, but you do it anyway. So, everybody who's come before us and who's given their life, obviously, they're a big part of all the freedoms that we enjoy now. So just take a moment, if you haven't already done so, please just be thankful for all those folks, and just every year try to remember that that's what Memorial Day is all about. That's it. That's as preachy as I'm going to get tonight. So let's see what else we got going on over here. Grady, watching he says, watch when I can before heading to work. That's okay, Vaporino. I'm glad that you jumped in. So I'm going to throw out a question first, just to start some conversation. I'm always curious, what other hobbies do you folks in the knife community have? Are there other things you collect? Are there other things that you like to do? Maybe you like to work on cars. Maybe you like to, collect something else. Maybe you are into sports. I don't, whatever that is. I'm just curious to see what some of the people here that are on the stream and are part of the community. Oh, there we go. And me with knives. And I'm just curious what kind of things you guys are into besides knives. Maybe it's just knives. Maybe knives are your big thing. Maybe you're spend all your time with your dog. Spend all your time with your dogs or your cats or something like that. I'm just curious what that would be. So me with knives says he's carrying a Benchmade bug out with AWT scales. I got one of those too. I reviewed it on the channel. AWT scales, awesome on a bug out. Awesome. An SRM 7063. I'm not exactly sure which model that San Ramon that is, but the SRM is basically the company that makes rake, spelt Ruiki. If you didn't know that, the rake knives are made by SRM. So it's the same quality as rake. So if you like some of the rakes, like this bad boy right here, right? Love this knife. This is the 801 SF in 14C28N and stainless steel. Great looking knife, very inexpensive. This company right here, these knives this knife is made by SRM, just in case anybody didn't know that. All right. So let's see here. He's got that Leatherman's Surge and a Lumentop Tool AA and a butane torch. Oh, you want them pocket butane torches. I got you. Gotcha. All right. Let's see here. I think some of the answers to my questions have come in. Carrying my new Benchmade Barrage. Yeah, right. I know all about that one. Excellent. I'm an extreme couponer. Okay, cool. Extreme couponer. Got it. Huge fisherman. Fresh and salt water. Well, you and Native Wild Man will get along really good. But that's cool. Let's see. Eating, that's about the only other hobby for me. My problem is that I tend to eat too much when I'm at home. I usually eat good breakfasts and lunches. I have a tendency to overindulge on snacks after dinner, and that's a bad thing. I need to break that habit. Let's see. Stacy says, I do kitties and pups and live YouTube knife channels. There you go. So I just said, maybe pets are your big thing. Samuel Smithy, also okay, yeah, that's right. He didn't post it everyday carry. So let's go ahead and get that. Samuel says, my EDC carry is a Shure Guroff Neon Zero. Nice. I'm impressed right off the bat. So I was getting out of another hobby, so I sold my last hobby to buy the Shiro as my everyday carry. Well, yeah, that's the thing about the Shiro, right? It's a pretty pricey little knife, but you get what you pay for in some of those upper end knives like that. Papa Rhino says kayaking and fishing. I know that because I saw that. Turntablist DJ, vinyl only, disc golf. I have played that. Gardening, off-grid, overlanding, etc. I gotcha. So I'll tell you what some of mine are. So you probably can see from behind me here that that golfing is something that I like to do when I feel good. There's a set of golf clubs missing back there right now because Mrs. Edge is out playing in a women's league today. But I like to play golf when I have the time. My wife and I love to go hiking. Here in Arizona, hiking for us season is usually late September to end of February, early March, and then it starts to get too hot and there's too many poisonous critters running around in the desert for us to do a lot of hiking. But we like to do that in the off season. What most people would call winter is very mild here in southern Arizona. And so we like to go hiking at least once a week and hit some trails and stuff. Road cycling is also a thing that I do. You can see the wheels of our bike sticking out in the back corner here. Haven't been doing a lot of that this spring, but I will get back to that. Vinyl record collecting, something that I like to do. I have a huge record collection, not anything as big as Brother Jason Brown's, but I probably got about 700 or 800 vinyl records, and I've got a lot of old stuff that's worth lots of money. So I like that. I'm into pew-pews, and I also like to go RVing. We have a 25-foot travel trailer that we tow around and go on vacations places with. Let's see. Somebody else. Oh, Blades Hook Daniel, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping into the stream. Today I carry the Boker Kansai LRF and the Civivi Chevalier. All right, nice. I did want to mention too, there will be a story time tonight. You do not want to miss story time tonight. Tonight's going to be a good story time. I'm going to weave a tale for you guys. You're going to like it. Spicy Mateo. That's right. Mateo is in the stream. What's up, brother Mateo? Woohoo! I'm going to have to order some more jerky pretty soon from you too. As soon as my stomach problems go away. Maybe that's why I have stomach problems. Maybe it was your jerky. No, it wasn't. Let's see. I'm trying to see. I don't want to miss anybody here. Let's see. Spicy Mateo. All I do is YouTube. Okay, that's not true. I know that you're a fly fisherman. I know you are because I've watched videos of you talking about all the flies that you've tied yourself and the lures that you buy and those kinds of things. So you can't tell me you just do YouTube. I know that you're into fishing. Let's see. Papa Rhino. I also breed high-end tropical fish and frag corals for a business. Build custom fish tanks. Now that I did know about you. I didn't know that you did fish tanks because you'd mentioned that one other time before in the chat that I was in. And that's very cool. So Native Wildman, I collect whetstones. Well, there you go. That's another hobby, collecting. Will be, I read a lot of history books and historical fiction as well as fantasy sci-fi. I also enjoy cooking and spending time outside when I can. So history is one of my things too. I really like early American history, but I love watching historic shows. I love, and when we're talking about film, I love period pieces. I love a lot of Victorian stuff. But I really, history is interesting. It fascinates me. I've read a lot about the history of our country, and I've read a bunch of books on how things actually really went, unvarnished version of how things went during the War of Independence. And I think that's very cool. So reading, always a good thing. I like futuristic sci-fi as well. I do like some fantasy stuff. If you like futuristic sci-fi, there's a ton of authors out there. I read a lot of stuff from B.V. Larson. Let's see, who else is somebody that I like? God, I'm drawing a blank now. I'll name you some of the books though. I like B.V. Larson. I like the Share series tales. Nathan Lowell is another one. That is the coolest he has the best writing style to explain what everyday life on board a ship in outer space would be like without actually making an action book. So those are really cool. Those are called the Share series by Nathan Lowell. So if you like sort of somewhat futuristic science fiction, you'd probably really like those. Let's see. Who else? Paparano, my dad used to breed fish as a hobby. It was my job to clean all the tanks as a kid by mouth siphoning tank water to the sink. I have a fish again. Yeah, my older brother was really into fish for a while. When he got his own house, he filled up the entire basement of his house with fish tanks that he would go down, and I would help him do that kind of stuff. He'd always be like, "Here, just suck on the end of this hose, get some of this water out." No, I'm not doing that. But I thought it was really cool, and he had all kinds of different fish, freshwater, saltwater, the whole deal. Let's see. So Scott says, I collect knives, take pictures of my knives, make coffee table books out of prints of, and choose which to display as canvas art. Yeah, I know. I think the book idea is really cool. I've always thought that maybe at one point I might make a book out of like my favorite knives, or maybe my favorite Instagram pictures of my knives. I think that would be really cool. Tree Stabbing Troy says, I like Dr. Seuss. Okay, that's cool. It's not just for kids. I don't think any of the Beatles could read or write music. Let's see. I always wanted a shark with a laser beam. I love you guys. Are the best. Thank you, Mateo. Yeah, Scott. I mean, I think you got to be one of the most popular people who takes pictures of food cut with your knives. Although I did do that today. That was a little homage to you, Mr. Scott, because basically I cut my lunch today with my newest knife, my Benchmade, and it was cool. This is a cool knife. So just trying to see what you guys like to do. Like I said, vinyl records, man, that's a rabbit hole too, man. You can go to so many places. I've been to so many record shops all over the country, and you're always looking for the best copy of something, or just a copy of something that you really couldn't get your hands on. David Iverson, what's going on? What's up, David Iverson? So anyway, that's the deal. I just feel like it's kind of cool to see what else you guys are into. For me, I would say the vinyl record collecting is really relaxing because I'll get a record, I'll find something cool, I'll bring it home, I'll run it through my little disc doctor cleaner, get it all cleaned up real nice, and then I'll be really anxious to put it on a record player and see, does it sound good? Because sometimes you look at them and you inspect them really good records, and then you find out they're not in as good a shape as you thought. Maybe they don't have any real big scratches, but sometimes they've just been played to death, and they just don't sound very good. So that's a little bit of a crapshoot. It's always interesting to be able to bring stuff home. Sometimes it's stuff that you've never seen, never heard, never listened to before. So that's cool. I have everything from really old blues all the way up into modern rock and roll. So let's see. So Stacy says, yes, I have a sticker collection. I don't like to stick them because I don't want to ruin them. That's okay. I know people who do put stickers inside of like photo album scrapbooks and hold on to all those. And then there's a lot of people here that collect channel stickers, right, from different YouTube knife channels, and they want to have a collection of all the different stickers and put them on stuff, or just have all those stickers to collect. I sent some stickers off recently that were autographed, so that was really cool too. Somebody asked for me to sign the stickers, so I did. Let's see, Pablo. Jason Brown and I have been nerding out with each other over the record collections. Yeah, I keep meaning to talk to him about what he's got and to see if there's anything he's got that I'm interested in, or vice versa. But record collecting is so much fun. It's just so much fun, and it's kind of come back now. You see records in Walmart and other places like that where they've reissued stuff, which is kind of cool. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I kind of have. Exactly, right? Yeah, people. A few people have shown me photos of all these knife channels that they've collected stickers from and all that. Also, this is something I meant to mention too. I will be having fully deployed stickers come out. I've already decided I'm going to do that. I'm going to get some ordered. They're going to probably look something like the weekly announcement thumbnail placard that goes up on YouTube every week. But yeah. So those will be in the works too, and I'll be able to give those away as swag. Let's see. Autograph stickers. Yes, Michael Morgan. Autograph stickers. Been busy outside cleaning up after yesterday's wind. You're not the only person that's asked me for that, though. There's a couple other folks that have asked for if I could autograph stickers that I sent that they from the things they won or whatever. So that was cool. Channel sticker here. Yes, right. Let's see. I don't have knife channel stickers yet, just SMKWs. Yeah. Well, we can fix that, Native Wild Man. Shoot me your personal information by email, and I'll take care of that for you. Yeah, fully deployed stickers are in the works. As soon as after Blade show's over and all that stuff, I'm gonna probably send off an order to Kara at Tri-State River Valley Creations, and those will be available. I will start putting them in with prize packs and loot. So Dark Gravity, what's up, brother? Hey, Dark Gravity, welcome to the channel. And haha, look what I got. Thank you, sir. Thank you for selling me this knife. He says, I collect knives and watches. I used to collect coins, but precious metals are too expensive now. Gotcha. I have some coins set aside in the safe, some gold and silver ones, and a few other ones. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait because they just keep going up in value too. That's the thing. So let's see. It needs to be fixed, Wild Man. Speaking of Wild Man, I am going to throw a link in here because I need to get him in the stream. All right, so there you go. Native Wildman, there is my post with a link. You just click that and click through the stuff. It should bring you into the backstage area of the StreamYard for me. And then you can name yourself, and then once you're ready and I'm ready, we can bring you in. So this week, Native Wildman will be doing our 5 and 5. Again, there's a bunch of people in here. I've awesome knife collections. There's 28 folks in here. I really greatly appreciate all of you showing up. There's 26 likes, so everybody's been doing a decent job of hitting the like button for me, and I really appreciate that. We're going to see, let's see, David Iverson, what has he got here? He says, I received 2 knives today, a Hogue Deca Warncliffe and Magna Cut. Nice. The Deca, I have a Deca Warncliffe. Love it. Not in Magna Cut, though. Just have the 20 CB one. And Shieldon Tranchodon in Damascus. I won from Paul at DCDL. Okay, nice. Nice. I'm familiar with Shieldon knives, but I'm not sure what the Tranchodon is. It sounds kind of big and menacing. I could be wrong. It could be a little tiny knife. Let's see here. So let me know, Native Wild Man, if you saw that link I threw up in chat. I will go back and highlight it here for you. Oh, there he is. He's in. All right. Good. All right. I see him. We got some shout outs from Dark Gravity. He says, what's up, Marcos? Me with knives, my lady Stacy, Mr. Iverson, Mr. Carblades, Gonzo, Rex. Byron Kennedy says, I had no luck, but I was trying to find the old 5 1/4 computer disc clear binder sleeves for YouTube channel sticker collection. You know, you're right. That would work pretty good, actually. Settled for 3.5 picture sleeves. Yeah, no, but those old disc sleeves would work. So Native Wildman, whenever you're ready, give me a thumbs up. I can see you. I have you backstage right now. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come in. And also, don't forget to mute your YouTube stream so you don't get any echo. Just hit mute on the actual YouTube live stream. I can't hear you yet, but I can see you. So just give me a thumbs up on the screen like this when you're ready to come in. Let's see, who else we got here? I'm down, Grumpy Grunt. I'm downstairs 3D printing monkeys for the show. Very cool. Very cool. Whoa, what happened there? Jason Brown is in the house. What's up, Jason Brown? You just missed it. We were just kind of talking about records, final records for a few minutes there. I'm going to go ahead and bring Wildman and see if we got him here. There he is. Cool. Oh, we lost him. All right, I will repost again for him just so he can get back in here, hopefully. Okay, there we go. Reposted for him. So while I'm waiting to see if he gets back in, what's up, Jason Brown? Good to see you, brother. I also wanted to talk about. Oh, wait, have you come back in? We might have him.
Hello?
Yep, I hear you.
And cool beans.
All right, good to go. Good to go. So first of all, welcome to love the shirt, by the way, dude.
Thank you. Thank you.
Up the irons, baby. All right. Hey, Devil Dog, what's going on? So Native Wild Man has volunteered to do the 5 and 5 for this week. He's going to show us 5 of his knives, and I'm going to bigify him and let him have the stage for a few minutes. All right, here we go.
Well, that first one wasn't one of them, but I'll go with the first big fixed blade I ever bought. Or, I guess big. I did have a buck 100th anniversary before this, but this is my first big cold steel I ever bought. It's a Leatherneck SF. As you can see, it's very well used. I like it a lot.
Cool.
This is my first cold steel pocket knife. It's the Counterpoint 1. I dropped it and messed up the tip, so it's not quite a spear point anymore, but it's sharp.
What is the what's the handle look like on that? It's kind of like it's got that kind of Adamas look to it almost, huh?
Yeah, it's got the holes in it. These holes are really good for using for wire strippers. I love it.
Nice.
When I'm at work, I work on irrigation for campus, and sometimes I have to strip wire, and I don't have my wire stripper, so I'll just use my knife. And you just clamp the blade down and put a little pressure in one of those holes and twist the knife around like tubing cutters.
Nice.
And it'll cut it.
It's cool to see that you actually use a lot of your knives too, like, you know.
Oh yeah, I buy my knives to use. Yeah, I like to review knives too, so if I don't use my knives and I do a review, then it's not going to be honest, in my opinion.
Yep, I got you. I'm the same way. So
Awesome.
what else you got for us?
Okay. This is my favorite small knife.
That's
or smaller knife. Cold Steel Mini Lawman. Yep. It's got the CTS X HP steel.
Mm-hmm.
I need to sharpen it, but
carpenter steel, yeah, nice.
The coating
how long
on it.
Have you had that?
5 or 6 years, I want to say.
Wow, that's in pretty good shape for a knife that's been used for 5 years.
Yeah, I try to keep my knives in good shape.
What? So wait a second. So somebody, Papa Rhino, he might be being a little bit of a wise ass. He said Emaw. What's Emaw?
Every man a wildcat.
Oh, okay.
It's a K-State thing. Since I work at Kansas State University.
Yeah.
So,
gotcha.
Yep. Bleed purple. Cool. Okay, my next knife. It's the one I've had for 2 weeks. The Cold Steel American Lawman, the Big Brother. I named this one the Big Brother. I don't know how many people name their knives, but I had to name this one the Big Brother since I've had the small one for a long time. And I've been using this thing for 2 weeks. And when I first got it, I strapped it on my 1000 grit Smith stone. Well, it's on the internet. It says it's 1,000 between 1,000 and 1,200. It's an Arkansas stone, so the grits are actually rated different on Arkansas stones. It has a different rating for the coarseness than like a ceramic stone or wet stone.
Okay, yeah,
But
gotcha.
This thing's a beast. For a smaller knife, I can cut things that you wouldn't think you'd be able to cut with a small knife really quick.
Nice.
So far after 2 weeks, I'm really liking this knife.
Yeah, I remember you saying in chat not that long ago that you really wanted one of those and that you wanted to put one of those in your collection pretty soon. So I'm cool. It's cool that you finally got one.
Yep. Yep.
Very cool.
I like it a lot. And then another knife is a Cold Steel.
Oh, I like that.
Kudo Light. Oh, my American Lawman is S35VN still.
Yep. Okay, yeah, good.
The counterpoint is Oz 8. And for budget still, I really like Oz 8.
Yeah, it's a lot of people put it down, but it's similar to a 14C28N actually.
Yeah, I agree. It has good edge retention, especially the Cold Steel one. I had a CRKT M16 with the black handle, and it had that little red safety switch like right in here as a neck to the liner lock. So it had a little thing that went between the liners so you couldn't accidentally undo it. So you had to pull this back and then push the liner in. I liked it, but then I left it out fishing somewhere.
Oh, I hate
this one I'm actually thinking about putting in a fishing tackle bag because I think it'd make with the blade shape and the size, it'd make an awesome bait knife or an awesome fish cleaning knife.
Yep. Probably would, yeah.
This is 5CR MOV 13. Yeah.
And that's okay because if you're going to use it as a bait knife, you're not going to be really cutting through anything that's like super tough. You know what I mean? For the most part.
Just fish bones, but you can put a really good edge on it. Oh, I didn't see that American Lawman one. Iron Maiden and Eddie out.
Out damn.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, that was cool. What was the first knife that you put up there that wasn't part of your 5x5? It looked like some kind of culinary knife.
Oh, it is. It's this Wusthof that I'm working on.
Oh yeah, it's got a big chip, huh?
Yeah, dang. It was about a 1/4 inch. It's a little bit over halfway done, and I've gone through 3 things of 80 grit sandpaper. And let's see.
Yeah, you got to get all that metal rolled down to that point first. Yep.
Yeah, and I think I'm doing a really good job at keeping the profile of the edge. I mean the blade.
Gotcha. Yeah. Now you got it that way, or did something happen to it after you got it?
It's my friend's knife, and he left it at work or something, and he recently props for him. He quit drinking. So, but he left it at work, and one of his coworkers decided it was a good idea to take it and ninja chop the counter with it, and took a big old ding out of it. I've got a few videos of it up, actually 3 to be exact right now. One of them is with me doing repair on it, or what I just showed you on the sandpaper. I was doing that.
Yep. Hey, I want to take a stop for a second anyway. Donna, I'm not ignoring you. It's just hard to keep track of the chat and listen to what he's saying too. So if you could repost what you were asking or inquiring about, I'll try to answer that question. Oh, Don wants stickers. Okay, so I'll get to that in a minute. I promise. As soon as 5 and 5 is over, I will talk about stickers with you guys for a second. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give some away tonight before the end of the night. Okay, that way you guys somebody can have a chance to get some free stickers. So. Sorry, I didn't catch the end of what you were saying, but the very last part, I heard you talking about him stop drinking, and I missed the rest of it after that because I was trying to catch up with the chat. So,
no problem. Well, anyways, his coworker decided to ninja chop it on the counter, and took. I mean, that was originally probably a 1/4 inch deep chip.
Woo.
So as you can see now, it's way smaller than that. I've worked a lot of it out.
Nice. Cool.
And
All right.
went through.
So what's your, you're just basically going to get that all sanded out for him, and then you're going to just re-edge it?
Yeah, I'm going to resharpen it and stuff and then give it back to him. But I told him it's probably going to take a while since I don't really have any power tools that are good for re-edging or reprofiling a knife. And plus, stones work a lot better if you know what you're doing.
Yep. Yeah, like Todd Card just said here, he goes, it's a lot of work to fix that knife, but it's worth it. So I think you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the right track. I'm going to unbigify you now, so hold on a second.
All right, awesome.
We'll go back to double screen. Do you want to stick around for a couple more minutes, or you want to get off? You want to jump off?
Oh, I can stick around a couple more minutes. Maybe somebody can ask a question for me or something. I don't know.
Okay. So while you're here, I'm going to just talk about this real quick. So first of all, thanks for coming on and doing the 5 and 5. That was awesome. I love seeing people's knives. I love seeing knives that are actually worked and used and how they wear over the course of time. I think some of the patina that gets on knives and the spots where they wear out gives them some character. I have a Benchmade knockout that's like that. It's one of my favorite knives to this day. And it's been carried so much that some of the Cerakote is starting to wear off of the knife.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Anyway, so Don, don't leave. Don, don't leave. Listen, I was going to get to the sticker thing. I hate to interrupt somebody in the middle of a 5 and 5. Don, if you want to email me at either of my contact emails, either on Instagram or my channel, if you want to email me and send me your mailing address, I will send you out a couple stickers in an envelope. For the rest of you folks that are looking for stickers, I'll probably I'll do a quick little giveaway right at the end of the live stream tonight, and I'll give a couple people a chance to win some stickers, and I'll send them out the same way. All right, so hopefully that keeps everybody happy. Stickers do cost money, but I don't have a problem with giving them away. So it's goodwill toward the community, and I will do that. But just remember, guys, it's super hard when you're doing the chat to always catch everything people are saying and asking about. It does scroll through a little bit on my screen. Plus, I have a guest on doing 5 and 5. So my focus is pretty much on that when that's going on. So I would never purposely ignore anyone, but it is hard to keep track of all the comments. So real quick, and then I'll let you get off because I'm going to do story time. I'm just wondering if anybody out there is excited about Top Gun Maverick. Anybody else? Is there anybody out here on the stream that's like excited to go see Top Gun Maverick? For me, I'm very excited about that. I really enjoyed the first movie, and I have tickets to see Top Gun Maverick tomorrow. And I've heard that it's a fairly patriotic movie in its tone. So I hope that turns out to be the case. Yeah, David Iverson, a couple of people thanked you, by the way, for coming on. David Iverson is one of them. There's 2 or 3 folks in here that said, thanks for coming on and sharing your knives. Thanks for the 5 and 5.
You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. So if anybody else wants to come on in the future and show a few knives off, they can be anything. I don't care if they're kitchen knives, they're your favorite knives, they're some kind of family heirlooms. Doesn't matter. Let's see. Papa Rhino said, I'm excited about the Bob's Burgers movie first. Yeah.
I'll probably eventually get around to watching the second Top Gun. I like the first one a lot.
Yeah. Yep. So there's Mateo. He says, I hear it's a great sequel. Yeah, so far, the people that I know that have seen it have said good things about it, too. Michael Morgan said, I expected them to ruin it, but I've heard good things. Yeah, so far, the reviews have been pretty positive, and they said it's got a good tone to it. So I really like that. Yeah, here's another one. Double Dog 0311 says, nice job. Oh, where did it go? He just jumped again. See, that's what happens sometimes. That comment just jumped off the screen on me. But anyway, he said, nice job to you. So I'll let you get off. I'm going to finish up with a couple of other things. Thanks so much for coming on tonight and doing the knives. I really appreciate it. It was really cool to see the knives that you have, too. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. You're welcome.
All right, man. Okay, so we did 5 and 5. I'm going to show you a quick knife preview. I'll get to story time. This week's knife review, this Friday's knife review is going to be the Urban EDC F5.5 in titanium with the wave pattern on it. This knife was very graciously lent to me for reviews from another YouTuber, Q-Ball 981, which some of you guys probably know. And this will be Friday's knife review. It's already in the can. It's waiting for Friday morning to drop. So let's see what else we got going on here. Yes, Jason Brown says, thank you, Wild Man. I agree, right? I mean, I love seeing knives. I don't care whether they're old knives, new knives, family heirlooms. It doesn't matter. Mateo says he's going to go see it too. Boo, what's a boo for? I'm not sure. Oh, that's Grumpy. Well, I'll tell you what, Grumpy. If you haven't boarded a plane and left yet, you should watch this review. Or when you get a chance, you should watch this review. And then you'll understand that I see what you see, buddy. Let's just put it that way. I'm gonna start selling Maverick undies for the movie followers. I'll get you a deal. Let me know. Will it have Jennifer Connelly on the front and Tom Cruise on the back? Because that's the kind I want. I want the Jennifer Connelly on the front. But it sounds like a good idea, buddy. Yeah, the F5.5. Yeah, for the F5.5. I get it. Oh, hey, Matisfaction. Hey, all on the road. Eionan, everyone. Service is garbage out here in the middle of nowhere. Well, Maddie, thank you for dropping in and checking in on us. We are definitely doing the live stream and having a lot of fun. So let's see what else we got. All here, the king of the squirrels. That's it. Checking in from the road trip. So he's out there with, it's Matt, Cue Ball, Snuz, and Said Stevie. So those four are all traveling across the country together. They're probably somewhere in Texas right now, headed toward Oklahoma. So crazy. Imagine that road trip's going to be a lot of fun. I know it. So anyway, let me do this. Let me do a couple of little giveaways for stickers. So one of my moderators, if you could pop up a giveaway rule there for me, please. I would really appreciate it. The only difference is Winchester. Oh, Winchester in here. Hey, Winchester, what's up? Winchester, the only difference is that I believe Maddie does unspeakable things to himself and Mayo Bass, but nobody is looking. Oh, there's Cue Ball. Speaking of, there he is. He's the one who loaned me the knife that's being reviewed this week. Props out to Cue Ball. Okay, so Stacy threw up giveaway rules. That's okay. I'm not sure what happened to my other moderator there. So we got giveaway rules up. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give somebody the opportunity to get free sticker. All you got to do is just send me your mailing address, and I'll send you out a free sticker. Okay, I'm going to do 2 of these. So the first, I will take the two people who are closest without going over, and I will send you free stickers. Okay, two people. And hold on, you're going to need a number range. That would probably help. What do we got in here? 30 people. So we'll do, I got a number range. Okay, as soon as somebody puts up a start, Michael Morgan, how about putting up a start for me there, brother? And I will get you guys a number range. Win some free stickers. We got to start. We're still waiting on a start. There it is. Okay. So the Michael's put up the start. The range is going to be 10 to 75. Go ahead, folks. Here's the number right here. The 2 closest people will win free Eionan's Edge stickers. $10 to $75 is the number range. Bada bing. Cue Ball. They stay. So the 4 of those guys, Cue Ball, Maddie, Snuz, and Said Stevie, they all went and visited Mateo today and met his family. That was, I guess, earlier in the day, and now they are en route again to Knife Nirvana Blade Show 2022. Let's see here. Some good guesses rolling in. see what we got. All right, 71 for Devil Dog. We only got, what, 31 people in the stream, so I'll give it another 30 seconds or so, and then Mimo, please throw up a stop for me, okay? So yeah, so what you're guessing for right now? I got a couple of people up there. I think I know who the two winners are. What you're guessing for right now is some Eionan's Edge stickers. I will send these out for free. Give you some free sticker swag for your knife case or whatever you want to put it in. All right, let's go ahead and get a stop up there if we haven't done that already. And Q-Ball said the food was good. That's awesome. Went to a knife shop yesterday, but everybody talks about the food. The food was good. But that's cool. I would imagine some home-cooked food would be pretty kick-ass up there. There's the stop. Okay. So I will show you the number. 39 is the number. That is our number. And I believe there are two winners. I believe that Laura Gillespie hit it right on the money at 39. And I also think Tree Stab and Troy was second with 37, if I am not mistaken. So let's see. There's Tree Stab and Troy with 37. And Laura Gillespie with 39. Anybody see anyone closer to 39 or 37? I think those are my two winners. Nope. I think that's it. Okay. So congrats to Troy and Laura. You two are the winners of some free stickers. And I might throw something else small in there. We'll see. But you will definitely get some Eionan's Edge stickers. All you have to do is hit me up either on Instagram or at my Gmail account for my YouTube channel, which is eionansedge@gmail.com. All right, so guess what's coming up next, folks? Story time is coming up next. That's right. Story time with Eionan is coming up next. And also, don't forget, too, if you haven't checked it out yet, Fully Deployed Episode 3 is live now. That dropped this past Sunday, and it was a holiday weekend, so a lot of people might have missed it. But there is a couple of cameo appearances in there from some YouTubers. One of them a lot of people seem to really like. Took a lot of work, by the way, to get that one in there. But check it out if you get a chance. Go check out Fully Deployed Episode 3 and catch out the two YouTube cameos from channel content creators that I threw in there with it. So I think you'll enjoy that. All right. So I got my two winners. Don't forget to contact me with your mailing addresses, and I'll send you out some free stickers. Okay. Story time for tonight. So I decided that rather than give you a whole ton of choices, I decided there was a story I really wanted to tell. So here we are, folks. Gather around the campfire, huddle in close. Uncle Eionan is going to tell a tale. As a kid, I grew up in two places. The early part of my life, till I was about, I don't remember, around 11 maybe. I grew up in a smaller city with both my parents before they got divorced. And then after that, story on the name. I'm not sure by story on the name. But I'll tell you what the story time is about in a second. So I grew up in a really cool colonial style house. It was 2.5 stories of house. And I will tell you that this is not only a tale of the house I grew up in, but it is a ghost story. Okay. Now, everybody can believe what they want to believe. I personally, I believe in ghosts. And after I tell you this story, you'll understand why I believe in ghosts. All right. So anyway, I grew up in this colonial house. In the second half of my life, from my teenage years on, I spent like half of my time at my dad's house with his new wife on a farm. And I grew up as a teenager there. But as a younger kid, I grew up in the city, an old Victorian home. So this house was really interesting. It's a little bit of backstory on this house. The city that I lived in, this was the fourth oldest house in the city. It was a 2.5-story colonial Victorian style house. It had 13 rooms in the main house. Actually, technically it had 15, and I'll tell you about those last 2 rooms in a minute. And then it had 6 rooms in the basement. And the whole foundation of this house was made out of stones, big stones, and huge hand-hewn timbers that were like a foot wide by like 2 feet tall. When you went downstairs, that's what you saw. It had all horsehair and plaster walls, and with all the slat boards and stuff that held the walls together. Really, really old house. The house was owned by a duke and a duchess. So the upstairs part of the house had 2 entrances. It had a regular entrance over on the kitchen and dining room side of the house. And then it had a big fancy entrance with columns outside. And that was the formal greeting room that led to a staircase that went up to the back of the house. And there was a huge coat closet that was like 20 feet long under the stairs. And then you went into a master living room, if you want to call it, that had a chandelier, crystal chandelier in it. Now, don't get me wrong, we were not rich people. That was not the case. My dad bought this house completely dilapidated, almost in condemned condition, got it for a song, and basically refurbished the whole house. By the time I was old enough to really know what was going on in this house, the house was quite a bit fixed up, a lot, and it didn't look, at least walls and floor wise, it didn't look quite so Victorian as it did when in its old glory days. But the interesting thing is the 2 rooms, the extra 2 rooms in the house, the half of story I'm talking about was servants' quarters. So when you were on the 2nd floor, the hallway ran the whole length of the house. And in the middle of the hallway, you opened this door and you walked in about 2 or 3 steps, and then you turned and you went up a really steep staircase. And at the top of that staircase, you would think it would be an attic, but it wasn't. It was servants' quarters. There was servants' quarters on the left side of the stairs, facing the back of the house, and servants' quarters on the right side of the stairs. Now, this is up at the top of the house, so the ceilings are pretty pitched. Like it's only 8 feet right in the middle, like where you walk, into them. But they actually there was beds. When my parents got the house, there were beds up there, and there was these little hooks where they hung curtains to separate people, like the male and the female workers and things like that. No air conditioning, 1 small window on each side of the servants' quarters in the attic. Okay. The upstairs, the house had actually had four fireplaces. It had a fireplace in the master bedroom, which went downstairs into the main living room where the crystal chandelier and all that was. It had a fireplace in the basement, and then it had a fireplace in the kitchen that went downstairs as well, because they would prep food down there and then bring it upstairs to be served. This is the kind of house it was. It was really old. So anyway, the house was very old. It was owned by a duke and duchess. They owned most of the property. The backyard had 2 separate layers. So the porch came way out. That's where they used to store the carriage. And then the rest of the lower backyard was where they had a little corral built where the horses grazed. And then when you walked up a set of stone steps to the upper yard, that was like the pretty area. That's where it had fruit trees and flower trees and a big oak tree and had all that kind of stuff. So it's a huge house. The basement was so big. It had 6 rooms in it. It had enough room on one end of the basement that my dad put up a pistol shooting range with a backstop and everything. And when he was shooting downstairs, you could hardly even barely hear it in the main house. That's how thick the floors were. One of the rooms downstairs was the meat room. And I'd always scare all of my friends with this because it had hooks in the ceiling. It had like 6 hooks in the ceiling. And so what they would do is they would bring, cuts of beef or, side of pig or whatever down there, and they would hang them up on the hooks. Well, one of the hooks prior to us moving in there had fallen out of the ceiling, and the meat had landed on the floor. And so there was this permanent blood stain. You couldn't get off this old concrete. And it was right under where the missing hook was. You know, and my dad used to say, oh, that's where they hung all the bad kids when they misbehaved and all that kind of stuff. So it was a really, really cool house to live in. But here's the ghost story part of the story. So that the house was haunted. So if you don't believe in ghosts, it's okay. It's all right. Well, let me tell you how some of my experiences there. So first of all, the house didn't have many light switches because it was built during an era where you carried candlesticks around to get to different rooms. So the only switch to turn on the upstairs hallway lights was the one at the top of the stairs. And you had to walk upstairs, and it had a pull cord you had to reach up and pull. So the stairs were always dark, and there was only that one way up unless you went all the way around the other side of the house and took the front staircase. But things that happened in this house initially were things like you'd go upstairs and all the doors in the upstairs part of the house would open and close. Not just one door, all the doors. All the bedroom doors, the bathroom door, the partition door for the hallway, they would all close at the same time or open at the same time. I don't know what you think of that, but I'll tell you one thing. When you're like a 9 or 10-year-old kid and all the doors in your house open and close at the same time, that's pretty freaky. So it just gives you a little bit of an idea. So let's see. I see some of the chat scrolling by over here. Some of you guys talking about military stuff. But anyway, I digress. So that was one instance of some scary stuff that happened in the house. But my mother had been walking down a hallway once with a hot cup of tea, because she always drank tea, smoked cigarettes, drank tea. She had a hot cup of coffee in her hand, and there was no one upstairs with her, and something actually hit her hand. The tea went up in the air, it flipped over, and it landed back in the cup, back in the saucer, upright. And basically almost nothing spilled out of it. I witnessed that with my own eyes, and my mom stood there kind of flabbergasted. So I'll start with one of my ghost stories. These are some of the little intros. So the house had a master bedroom upstairs with a study and a fireplace, and it had a secondary bedroom, which was the children's bedroom. And the children's bedroom had a little French door that opened to a very small bedroom in the very back, farthest corner of the house, but it connected to the children's room. That my sister and my mother had done a bunch of research on the house, pulled old blueprints, et cetera, and they found out that that was basically a nanny's room. And so the children had a nanny, they had servants who cooked and cleaned and did all their stuff for them, but the children had a nanny, and the nanny stayed in that room right off of the secondary bedroom. And all that you had to do was just open 2 little French doors, and you were in the secondary bedroom. So one night I'm laying there sleeping, and for some reason I wake up, and I don't know why, and I look around and I see a woman standing in front of the French doors in my bedroom, because that was my bedroom later on. Right? My sister had it, and then I got it. So there's a woman standing in front of the French doors, and I can see her very clearly. I can tell she's a woman. I can tell she's wearing a dress. I can tell she's a kind of slight build. She has her hair all kind of pulled back and up in a bun on top of her head. And I had a half-filled cup flip on the side right before my eyes. It's a 100-year-old building. Spooky, yeah. Yeah, the thing is, my mom said something hit her hand, and the cup just went up in the air and turned over and came back down, landed right on the saucer. What are the odds of that happening? Right? Especially if something hits your hand and there's no one near you. Like, I mean, I saw what happened, but I wasn't like close to my mom. I didn't hit her hand, obviously. Anyway, back to the story. So I wake up and I see this lady, standing there, and I can tell she's got a dress. I can tell she's slightly built. And I can't make out all of her features, but I can tell she's a woman, right? I can tell by her build and what she's dressed in, she's a woman. Now I'm in my room. This is at probably 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm petrified. I'm like, oh my God. No, she was wearing a dress, Winchester. Get your mind out of the gutter. So she's wearing a dress, thin waist, got her hair up in a bun. Facial features are a little distorted, but I can tell she's a woman. And I'm freaked out. I'm just I'm laying there in bed. I've got the covers pulled up. I don't know. And she turns and she walks toward my bed. And she walks through my bed and is standing about the middle of my bed where my feet would normally be, but she's more toward the middle. And she bends over, and I wanted to scream. I wanted to scream. And I didn't. And she bends over and she puts her hands down like on the blanket, the quilt of my bed. And then she turns and she walks back to the French doors and disappears through them. Yeah, freaky. Okay. So that's pretty freaky in and of itself. Another night I wake up and I see a picture on my wall. It's a picture of some old guy, like a portrait, like a bust portrait guy painted on my wall. I see it, it's clear as day. And I realize that the shades and the curtains are not open in my room. At first I thought maybe it's moonlight, maybe something's shining through the moonlight or whatever. And I get out of bed and I see that all the shades are closed, none of them are open. My curtains are drawn, my shades are like down. There's only a tiny bit of light coming through the bottom of one of them. And I go, I just don't think it's that. So I'm freaked out. So I go, maybe I'm just having a nightmare. So I go and I down the hall and I use the bathroom and I come back and I look and the picture's still there in the wall. Big picture. Now you know how if it's moonlight or light shining through the trees or light shining through your window that's causing an image to be distorted, you put your hand on the wall, the image changes? I did that. It didn't change. It was still a picture of some old guy on my wall in my bedroom. So anyway, those were all the warm-up stories. Here's the best one of all. Opening, closing doors, coffee cups being pushed over, apparitions, walking into the room. That's all piddly shit. My mom and dad had the master suite, and I was right across the hall from them. My door was right across the hall from their room. I wake up and I hear my dad screaming my mom's name. He's yelling it. He's yelling my mom's name. And then I hear him say, "Wake up, wake up." So, I could tell he's yelling, something's wrong. So I get out of bed and I rush into their bedroom, right? And my mom is laying there in bed and my dad is shaking her. And he's like, "She's not breathing. She's not responding. I don't know what to do." And he yells her name and says, "Wake up again." This time he takes his hand and he slaps her on the face. Not like a big pimp slap. He just slaps her like hard enough so it'll wake you up. And she literally gasps, jumps off the bed, up in the air, and she lands in the middle of the bed on her hands and knees. Right? And so she's still kind of like in a weird little trance. And my dad is like, calling her name. And then finally she looks over at him and she looks up at me. And he goes, what happened? You weren't breathing. You wouldn't wake up and you were cold. That's why my dad woke up. He rolled over in the middle of the night and he touched her and she was cold. And she was never cold. So he thought something's wrong. And this is what my mom, when she kind of comes out of her stupor, this is what my mom says. She tells us, this is my story inside of a story, by the way, right? She tells us that she was having a dream that she was somewhere in Europe, possibly the Mediterranean. They were having a picnic on a beach. She splashed around in the surf, and then she came up on the shore, and somebody threw sand at her. So she picked some sand up and threw it back at them. And then a sand fight ensued between a few of the people that she was there with. And she picked up another handful of sand and she went to throw it. And my father slapped her at that moment, apparently, and woke her up. And she literally jumped out off the bed and landed on her hands and knees on the bed. Well, here's the really freaky part, folks. My mother, when she sat up, she had sand in her hands. Swear to God, not like a big handful of it, but she had sand all over the palms of her hands. I'm a believer. I saw it with my own eyes. Wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it happen myself. I don't know what they call that. What is that? Where you part of your body transports to somewhere else, right? But anyway, she had freaking sand in her hands. There was no sand in our house. We lived in the city. Like it wasn't like she like went somewhere and got sand. Like she had sand in her hands. That's a true story. Yeah, creepy. And that house was just like that. Weird stuff happened all the time in that house. Like you'd put something down and you know you put it there. And then you'd turn around and walk out of the room and walk back in and be a totally different place. And no one's in the room. Like we would set the table for Thanksgiving and you'd come in and like the spoons and forks would be in different places. And it got to be so common that we didn't even, like I didn't think about it a lot when I was a kid. Like unless it was something really scary, like the sand thing or the apparition coming through my bed, all that normal stuff that happened, like doors opening and closing and silverware being in the wrong place. Like, you know, people would come over and they'd be like, oh, all the silverware is so well laid out. It was like somebody went by and fixed it all and put all the silverware like perfectly lined up with all the spoons and forks and shit where they belong. And my mom would go, huh, I guess one of the ghosts has been here again. And it became a joke. Like if you grew up in a house that was like that, it became a joke. But there was never any poltergeist. Like nobody ever did. Astral traveling. Yes, I think that is what it is called, Jason Brown. Anyway, that really happened. It happened the way I described it. I cannot explain where my mom got white beach sand. It looks like it came off a beach somewhere in the Mediterranean in the middle of winter in our house. But she did. She had sand in her hands. How freaky. Yeah, Jason Brown said the ghosts were pissed. Y'all didn't know how to set the table properly. And that could be very true. That might even be why the silverware got moved. But it didn't always happen. But like, you know, we in our big dining room off the kitchen, like when we'd set up for like Thanksgiving or Christmas and we'd have family come over and we'd have a big, huge table set up with like, I don't know, 12, 15 place settings at it, like that would happen. Like, you know, like you put all the silverware out and then you'd come back like a couple minutes later and no one was in that room and it had been all rearranged. They'd been all like perfectly placed, you know, and it was the weirdest thing ever. So it seems I can't type when I'm multitasking. After you see ghosts, you get used to it. No, it's true. I mean, the freakiest experience for me was the lady walking through my bed. And when I told my mother about it, she goes, "Oh, that was the nanny." That's just how she goes. She goes, "That was the nanny." And I go, "Nanny?" She goes, "Yeah, we looked up the plans for the house and the history of the house, and a nanny stayed in that back room, and the kids, the two small children, slept in that secondary bedroom, and the nanny was always there 24 hours a day to tend to the children. She could just walk through those little French doors, boom, she was right there in an instant. If something happened, if they coughed, if they cried, if whatever it was, she would be right there." But the attic was kind of freaky because seeing servants' quarters in an attic was kind of freaky. Like my parents just used it for attic storage, but like, you know, it clearly was, you know, you could look at old pictures of houses that had servants and you could see where the lines for the separation, the little canvas or sheets where they were separated to two sides on each side of each of the two rooms. But that must have been some horrible living conditions because, man, I'll tell you what, in the summer in New England, that attic would be freaking roasting and humid. And even with both of those small windows open to provide some ventilation, it was hot up there. Hot. I cannot imagine what it was like to sleep in that attic after working all day as a servant in a house. Anyway, that is the house I grew up in, and that is my ghost stories. I hope you enjoyed. So let me go back here and see what I missed for a crazy while. Let's see. I used to work at a nursing home and would see people I knew that died there walk down the hall and go in there. Yeah, okay. It makes sense. I'm a believer. I am. I mean, I've just seen too much stuff in my life, especially as a kid in the house I grew up in. And I really do believe that we all have some kind of energy or spirit inside of us. Human beings wouldn't be able to do a lot of the stuff we do without it. My wife and I spent Halloween night in the Gettysburg, PA several years ago and toured an old post-Civil War haunted orphanage. Terrifying fun. Yeah, I bet it was. But I believe in that. Yeah, Richard Campbell says, F that. Yeah, well, it wasn't like my parents were just going to like up and move out of the house. You know what I mean? When they got divorced, my mom got the house and then sold it a few years later, and they made it into 2 apartments. They blocked off the big grand back staircase. They blocked that all off, and they made it into a 2-story house with an apartment downstairs and an apartment upstairs. House is still there. It's still. I looked recently. It's still there, but like I said, it was used as a rental after that, so it wasn't a single family home anymore. It is a crazy story. I already put that up. Let's see. After you see the ghosts, you get used to them. Yeah, I put that up. The Eionans. What did he say here? First ghost I remember seeing was at a dorm and walked past the kitchen at night. I saw a guy in his 20s washing dishes. I only saw him out of the corner of my eye. I went back and he wasn't there. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the lady who walked in across my room and into the foot of my bed, like I could see her well. I couldn't necessarily make out every facial feature, but I could tell she was a slightish built woman wearing a dress with her hair up in a bun. And you know, and I think my mom thinks that she tucked the kids in at night, and that's why she bent over my bed, that side of my bed, like where that may have been where like there were 2 separate beds or something. That's where one of the young children of the manors slept, and she was bending over to tuck a child in, and then she turned and walked right through the freaking French doors and disappeared. The picture one was freaky too, because I was like, there's a picture on the wall. And I showed my mom. Woke my mom up, and I'm like, look, there's a picture on my wall. She's like, well, there is a picture on your wall, you know? So anyway, yeah, some of these people say, I've seen some spirits. Don't forget about the ghost of Camasea. Yeah, Camasea, Devil Dog, if you remember, I don't know if you were on that live stream or not. I talked about serving over there, and that Camasea was one of the bases we served on. And it was, at the time, it was a radio receiving facility for the 7th Fleet, but it had all these underground bunkers. And the sink was dry. David Iverson says about the guy washing dishes. The sink wasn't wet. But Camasea was an old World War II Japanese bunker system, and it had all these little machine gun nests outside of it and stuff that were still there. They were all dilapidated and they'd been blown up and everything else. But a lot of us would see weird, freaky shit out there and see people walking around that really weren't there and things like that. So it was a pretty crazy place, and it was a weird place to be at night. When you were there at night, like in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, when it's just dark and there's not a soul around, that place was a really creepy place. So anyway, yeah, I guess some people are more open to these spirits. And again, you know, take it for what you will. I saw it. I witnessed it with my own eyes. I don't get anything about lying about that. You know, it was part of the way I grew up. That house was really cool. When my mom finally decided to move away and sell that house, I was a little sad because it was a really cool place to live. And it was just really cool to be able to have those experiences. There was never any poltergeisting stuff, except for the teacup thing. That was kind of weird. Nothing else that ever happened there was like mean-spirited. But there were a lot of doors that opened and closed and creaking. You could hear somebody walking upstairs when you were downstairs, that kind of stuff. Like, and there was nobody else in the house. There's no one home when you go upstairs and there's not a soul in the house except for me, but I can clearly hear someone walking up and down the hallways. You know? And Native Wildman, what does he say? He says, the first ghost I saw was an old man in a red flannel and blue jeans, overalls, white hair, and an Amish beard. Okay. They lived in places other than Pennsylvania. I don't know where you live, but the Amish lived in a few different places in New England and throughout the East Coast. So it's very possible. So anyway, that is story time for this week, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed it. And hold on, we got another comment here. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And that was a great story, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Richard Campbell says, I saw one of the Devil Dog says, I saw one of the Marines that died in the camera in the tunnel. So was it Sugi? Went down in the tunnels looking for old Japanese stuff. Yeah, exactly. There was all kinds of weird crap that happened over there. Yeah, that was a great story. Thank you. Yeah. So every week I always have a story for you, and I've got tons of them, so I won't run out of stories. Don't worry. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you again to Native Wildman for coming on the stream. Everyone who tuned in to the stream tonight for a while to check this whole crazy little situation out that we have going on here. I really enjoy doing this every week, and I'm very, very grateful to all of you guys for sharing some time with me on Tuesday nights. If you won stickers, please contact me and send me your mailing information. If Don Wendling is still in here, please contact me and send me your mailing information, and I will put them in an envelope and send them out to you. Otherwise, that's pretty much all I got for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We got to do some chatting. We got to see some knives, to tell some ghost stories. It's kind of a slow week because the Blade show is happening and a lot of people are away, but I appreciate everyone who came in this week and shared some time with me. You know what knife review I have coming up this Friday, the F5.5 titanium with wave pattern. Also, I will tell you, I have a lot of really cool knives that I borrowed from different people that are on loan to me. I'm still working my way through those. So look for some other really cool knives in the coming weeks, and I will have some really neat stuff to review for you guys. That's all I got for tonight. Thank you everyone on here. Thank you to my moderators, and also thank you to Native Wildman. Big shout out to you for coming on the stream and doing the 5 and 5. All right, folks, I think that's it. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go rest my weary back and probably make some dinner with my wife. So have a great week. I will see you next Tuesday.